Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, host of the State of the Saints podcast. And coming up on this edition of the State of the Saints podcast, the Saints, in shocking fashion, release a really good special teams ace. And also, you see the skyline, so you know where I'm at.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who that? How to do? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Rest in peace to the late, great John Witherspoon. Y'all know how he always used to say, how to do? But thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Really do appreciate your time, no matter where you are, wherever you may be. I hope you enjoy your Labor Day, time where you can kind of just chill, lay back. I mean, it was a pretty good day for me. Did a little barbecuing. Been a little bit under the weather over the last few days last week. So, man, it was really good to be able to get out and be able to do something, man. But, a barbecue, pulled out the smoker, pulled out the grill, man. And then, of course, I've been working with Paxton, who's about to start his third year of flag football, man. And these are one of the proud moments right here as a dad, man. We were out practicing before this evening, I should say, if you're watching this on a Monday. And, me and Paxton throwing around a football, and he wanted to see how far he can catch, man. So this was pretty cool right here, man. So I made a video and just thought I'd share it with y'all. I'm on the 20-yard line. Gonna see if Paxton can catch a 20-yard touchdown. Paxton, are you ready?
Ready.
All right.
Watch you guys.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, here we go. So he caught his first 20-yard pass, man. He's been really working on catching passes and running routes and stuff like that as of late. So that was just a cool moment right there, man. So my 6-year-old son out here catching them deep passes. So and probably the 2040 draft or something like that, back y'all see him, catching deep passes down the field. Y'all seen where y'all saw it first, right? All right, but man, special shout out to my son, man, and all the parents out there, man. Man, your kids definitely make you smile, man. It definitely is one of those moments, as a father, man. You just think so cool, man, just watching your kid grow. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's talk a little bit about the New Orleans Saints. Let's talk a little bit about them releasing Jatavius Tavon Gray, also known as JT Gray. He was released, man, in shocking fashion. I mean, this actually came out of nowhere, man. I mean, this is one of the last moves I would think that the New Orleans Saints would make. I mean, we know JT Gray is indeed a special teams ace. I mean, if you've been rolling with the Saints for a long time, man, I mean, the Saints have had some very, very good special team aces, man. I can think about back in the day, Fred McAfee. Some of y'all probably know what I'm talking about there, man. Long-time special teams ace for the Saints. Craig Robinson was a really good special teams ace for the Saints. And, JT Gray, he probably, was one of the all-time greats, man. And he had that position on lock, man. I mean, he was a backup safety, and he would come in during emergency situations. But man, he has made All Pro and Pro Bowl from that position. I mean, he came to the Saints undrafted out of Mississippi State back in 2018 and has been with the team for 8 seasons. And a lot of players seemed like they were shocked. Alvin Kamara writing WTF. You also had Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. He was shocked by the situation. I mean, nobody really thought that JT would be on his way out of the door. But, these are the type of moves that, the New Orleans Saints feel like they have to make. I mean, I have to say, I don't know what this season is going to be like for the New Orleans Saints. I don't know what's going to unfold, but the New Orleans Saints are definitely trying to flip this roster. They are trying to get younger, and you have Kellen Moore that is bringing in players that kind of fit his scheme, and he wants to build the team his way. And I have no problem with that whatsoever, man. We can't pick and choose the way that a coach decides that he wants to build his team. I mean, if he feel like, that was a move that needs to be made, then, you got to just respect that decision. I like what the New Orleans Saints have been doing. I mean, they've been bringing in a lot of young, promising, talented players. And, I think that they will never admit this, but I think they understand that people know that this is a rebuilding process. Expectations aren't going to be high for the team this season. And I think that they're really trying to make a conscious effort at putting themselves into the black, where in 2026, they can be a little bit more competitive. Now, I'm not saying that they're just out here phoning it in. Like, oh, man, 2025 is just going to be an absolute disaster, and we're not going to do anything. But I just think that they understand that, it might be an uphill battle. And the grace that they have this season is not going to be the same grace you will give them in 2026. I like the fact that they're bringing in some of these younger players, man. I mean, they let go of JT Gray, but they also brought in some promising players, man. They signed a very good, very athletic quarterback / wide receiver in Tommy Mellott. Tommy Mellott was at Montana State. He played quarterback, and now he plays wide receiver. He was drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders, and they are looking to possibly make this guy the Taysom Hill of the team. His abilities, his skill set, his athleticism. I think that this is going to be one of those project players that the New Orleans Saints are trying to invest in. The teams do that from time to time. They see a promising talent, rather it's a guy that's probably tall, probably got a lot of athleticism, ability. They'll probably invest in him. We see the New Orleans Saints doing that with Charlie Smith, the kicker out of Ireland. So they're investing in Charlie because they feel like there's something there in the future. So all I can say is, I don't have an issue with that. They also signed Iku Leota. He's an edge rusher. He's a guy that they signed to their practice squad. So the New Orleans Saints are trying to beef up their team when it comes to the edge rush. And also just trying to bring in some young talent. We know that the New Orleans Saints worked out wide receiver Braden Rice, the son of legendary Hall of Fame wide receiver Jerry Rice. He played at USC. He was drafted in the 7th round last year to the Los Angeles Chargers. Couldn't really see the field. He only played in maybe like 3 snaps the entire season. But I just think it had a lot to do with the fact of how the team was actually structured at the time. I mean, he has the height. He's like 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds. So definitely could utilize a guy with that type of skill set. So, I mean, it's still out there. Maybe the New Orleans Saints will circle back around, but they were just trying some guys out, try to see if it actually worked. I'm actually looking at this UNC TCU game, watching Bill Belichick fumble all over himself out there as a coach, trying to coach on a collegiate level, man. It's pretty sad stuff here, man, the way that TCU putting the belt to him. But, but as far as the New Orleans Saints, I don't have an issue at all with, what the New Orleans Saints are doing. They're just trying to get younger. And we know that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And the Kellen Moore, he understands that. But I am excited about this being, the official week that football is back. I mean, preseason, exhibition play, no disrespect, but we all know what it is, man. It's just, a bunch of guys just out there trying to make the team. A couple guys would probably never play football ever again in life. It's pretty tough stuff, but the reality is this is real football. This is what we get all excited about. This is why we make our preseason predictions. This is why we sit in anticipation because of moments like this. As week one is upon us. Doesn't matter what our team did last year. Everybody's 0-0. So the New Orleans Saints are going to go and try to get their first win inside of the Caesar Superdome against the Arizona Cardinals. Just going to be without their really good stud of a special teams ace and JT Gray. But you got to make tough decisions sometimes when you're trying to create change. Got to keep it family friendly and respect TJ. We got young people watching as well. Yeah, man, look, we try to keep it as family friendly as possible. I don't know if people are just kind of upset about the whole JT Gray situation. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate. But sometimes, you lose those fan favorites at times. We shall see what's going to happen. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how things are going to transpire, but that's why you play the games. Nobody has a crystal ball and can predict the future. All you can do is just go out there and line up. And my goodness, this dude just fumbled the football. I don't know who this quarterback is, but Homie might need to get benched. I mean, this is pretty bad stuff right here. This is awful. This is awful. I'm sorry. I mean, I know we're doing a podcast here, but I'm actually watching him in real time. And how can you not, talk about this? I mean, TCU is putting belts to behinds here tonight. But anyway, we're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to see. There's only one Taysom Hill. Yeah, there's only one Taysom Hill, but you can try to replicate that. And, we can't have that type of mind frame either, man. We can't be like, feeling like, things can't change or you can't find somebody that can produce the way that he did. I don't think that you're going to, I agree with you on this. I don't think you're going to find a person or a player who is going to be able to produce the way that Taysom Hill does. Taysom Hill just does so many things well. But if you can find a guy who can throw the football, also you can line up as a wide receiver or something, or run in between the tackles. I mean, why the freak not? I mean, that's a matchup nightmare if he's effective. But yeah, I agree. There's only one Taysom Hill, but you can probably try to replicate that. I'm a USC fan. Brendan is very physical. Yeah, he's a physical receiver. Like I was doing my Saints minute today, and I just kind of talked about him, man. His characteristic and traits kind of remind me of Michael Thomas. Like how Michael Thomas isn't the fastest wide receiver in the world, but he's physical, coming off the line of scrimmage. He's strong and he can be able to create separation. Like Brendan Rice is not the fastest wide receiver in the world, but he's a good possession guy, and I think that could be something that the Saints can utilize. But we'll see. I mean, just because he walked out after a workout and they didn't, sign him to a contract doesn't mean that they, won't come back and circle around if the opportunity presents itself. Bill looked lost. Yeah, man. He looked lost. He looked dejected. Man, I just don't understand the angle. I don't understand why Bill Belichick is out there anyway. Like he don't have anything to prove. I get, he wanted to continue to coach, and it just seemed like the well kind of dried up in the NFL because, maybe a lot of people are starting to buy into that narrative. Like, man, without Tom Brady, you're nothing. But he still wants to coach, man. He still has something to prove. But, I will say, man, TCU aren't slouches. They were a couple of years ago in the national championship game. They had to kind of re-up a little bit, so I think that, they kind of re-up the roster, added depth to the team, and they have a really good coach as well, man. So that's not too shabby. Not an LSU fan, but I'm happy for Tiger fans. Yeah, man. I mean, the LSU Tigers, that was very impressive. That was a very impressive victory, man. They went to Clemson. It started off, Clemson seemed like they had some momentum, but LSU stayed the course. Defensively on the back end, it seems like, they got some studs. Credit to the LSU, coaching staff. They went out, they recruited really well, and brought in some guys that that can show up that back end. And they did a really good job. And you already you can get pressure up front. Perkins and Perkins and crew, and man, and the linebacker, man, Witt, you know what I'm saying? Like, that dude all over the field. I was like, my goodness, man. Homie was all over the field, man. I mean, I ain't never seen nothing like it, man. That guy reminds me of TJ Watt. I mean, he was flying all over the field. And I mean, it seemed like he was involved on every single play. I mean, it was unbelievable to watch. Watching, a guy just play the way that he did. I mean, and like I said, the offense still leaves a lot, to be desired. But with Weeks and Perkins and like I said, that back end, that secondary, I can see why. Like they were playing about as conservative as you want to play, but they realized that, man, ain't nobody gonna stop this. Ain't nobody stopping this, man. Shoot, we gonna punt to you, and we gonna play the field game. I mean, that defense, they got a championship defense, man. They got a championship defense. TJ, answer me this. Who has the best wide receiver core in the NFC South? I said the Bucs, Saints, Panthers, then Falcons. What's your take on paper at the moment? Look, man, I don't want to be no hater or nothing like that. At first, I'm gonna say the Bucs. Second, I'm gonna go with the Falcons, man. And I'm going with the Falcons because it's based on production. Like the Panthers wide receiver group, like Teteroy McMillan, Xavier Legette. I mean, they no longer have Jalen Coker, but so Jalen Coker, he lost for the season. I would have thought like that was a pretty formidable group right there, but I put the Falcons second, Saints third, Panthers fourth. I mean, if we're talking about like talent and skill sets and stuff like that, like, the Saints got some talented guys, but they can't stay healthy. So I'm not going to like, I'm look, based on potential and what they can be. Yeah, I think the Saints can be at the top, but I'm talking about based on production. It's not about like, how we feel. It's about like who is producing, and those guys produce. So I give them credit for that. I give them credit, but it's not out of realm of possibility, Drummer, that we have this conversation in the next like few weeks or something like that, and it changes. But I'm doing it strictly on production and availability. So yeah, I would give them like, I would say Bucs first, Falcons second, Saints third, and Panthers fourth. TJ, I'm ready for the NFC South Roundtable Tuesday night. Ready for some more cooking on them Falcons. Yeah, man. Look, it always seems like it goes that way, but it's just like I don't know, man. I really have a good time over there on the show. I think that was probably one of our most exciting shows, and it seemed like people really like it, man. And shouts out to fans that come over from the NFC South Roundtable to check out the State of the Saints, man. Appreciate that. A lot of fun over there, man. If you haven't checked out the NFC South Roundtable, you missing out. Now people backtracking on the tank for Arch after his first game. Keep that same energy. Don't bow down now. Look, here's the thing, and I said this before. I don't have anything against Arch Manning, and I feel like he has talent. Like he has the talent to be a really good quarterback. But I just think that we deem guys great like too prematurely. Like we were always trying to look for the next big thing. We're always trying to look for the next superstar, and we don't allow things to percolate. It's this microwavable world that we're in. We're trying to hurry up and cook this meal. And sometimes, man, you got to put this thing in the oven, or you got to let it, marinate. You got to put it in the refrigerator and let it sit for 24 hours or something, or a little bit longer than that. And I just think when it comes to Arch Manning, it has everything to do with the last name on the back of his jersey and not the game. People just automatically assume because his last name is Manning, he's going to be great. Because his uncle Peyton went to the Super Bowl twice. His other uncle Eli went to the Super Bowl twice. But look, I'm going to say this to people, and I want them to understand this. Greatness is not by association. You can't be great by association. Just because your uncle was great, just because your daddy was great, just because your mama was great, does not mean you're going to be great. And people were really just going in and talking about how great this guy's going to be without him really playing any credible teams. And these are the type of games that you are going to have to win if you're going to be considered a great. Right now, I think that he's a very good quarterback. Great. Let's just pump the brakes on that. And that's the main reason I don't understand, like, why people just automatically, oh, we getting the first pick overall, so let's get Arch Manning. Like, it's just a foregone conclusion. Like, he's going to be the best quarterback available. There's some really good quarterbacks that are coming out in 2026. I mean, Lenore Sellers, you got Drew Aller, out there at Penn State. I mean, you got some guys that can sling that rock. And, Arch Manning, to me, I just feel like he's a work in progress. So I'm not saying that he won't be a number one overall pick. I'm just saying that, I got to see a body of work. I can understand people wanting Garrett Nussmeier more than I understand them wanting Arch Manning. I mean, that's just the truth. Like, at least Garrett Nussmeier has won some games for you. To me, I don't understand the angle with him either. Like, he just a game manager, in my opinion. But I can understand why people will want Garrett Nussmeier more so than Arch Manning. Like I said, I don't have anything against him. And I want this to be clear, because I know people be wanting to circle around, and then if a guy end up being good, man, what you said about him, you said he wasn't good. No, I didn't say he wasn't good. I said put the dude back in the oven. He ain't ready yet. And he has to prove his worth if you're going to be talking about a guy being great, plain and simple. I mean, if you want to crown him great, fine. If you're looking at but a lot of that stuff is based on what is on the back of his jersey. That is a fact. You can't tell me that, okay, his play at Archbishop Newman, because that's all you basing it on, some high school games and him going up against guys that clearly, if you look at these high school games and the teams that he played against, I mean, those guys look like JV players out there. So, look, this is grown man football right there. And you're playing against Ohio States and the Oklahomas and the LSUs. Like, you got to go out here and you got to bring it. Like, I don't look. It's greatness by association right now, and he has to carve out his own lane. Like, we talking about Brendan Rice right now. Like, Brendan Rice's father was the greatest wide receiver of all time, and this man out here trying to get a workout with the Saints. So you got to carve out your own lane. And I see talent. I see ability, but I also see a guy that's a work in progress. TJ, what you think about Clash in Paris with CM Punk and Seth Rollins? Thought it was a, pretty good pay-per-view, man, for the part, that I seen. And I think it's interesting. I think probably they probably going to have like a situation where CM Punk's wife comes and be a part of it, AJ Lee, and they probably just have a mixed tag team match. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch against AJ Lee and CM Punk. See that happening. The same fans who are talking about tanking for Arch will be ready to get rid of him if he struggles early on. And, that's the part I don't understand. And here's the thing. I mentioned this. I don't want to just turn this into one of them shows, but y'all already know, man. I start off with a topic, and this show basically just takes on a life of its own. That's just how it works, okay? I know people like, man, you need to stick to the topic. I stick to the topic that people want to talk about when I answer these questions. But anyway, look, I don't have an issue with that, right? I don't have an issue with Arch Manning. I don't feel like, people, need to turn on him or anything like that. But I also see some hypocrisy going on when it comes to Arch Manning, because people will tell you in a second, okay, that Tyler Shuck ain't it, right? Oh, I seen enough. I seen him play. Oh, he ain't it. Okay. If you can draw that conclusion based on a few preseason games, how is it that you can give a guy like Arch Manning that same grace? Now, some people will probably say, well, he's still in college. He's still got a lot to learn. Well, this guy's a rookie in the NFL, and he still has a lot to learn. I just want people to understand what they're saying. Like, we want to make cases for people that we want to make cases for. You can't say on one hand, Tyler Shuck ain't it because in 2 preseason games, he ain't knock your socks off. But then all of a sudden, Arch Manning didn't live up to the hype. Now all of a sudden, like, you trying to justify that. No, that's hypocrisy of the highest order. So we can't have it both ways here. Okay, I understand. Oh, the guy's going to get better. You can tell by some of the throws that he was making in a game. There's something else. It's not like just they overhyping him. Now he has the talent, the ability, but it just has to be put together, and it takes time. And people just need to understand it. Just like when it comes to Tyler Shuck. 100 says, like me, I've been watching TJ for a while. He's honest and doesn't flip-flop on where he stands, even if I don't like it. Been watching this show before the Roundtable Show rise up. Well, Christian, I appreciate that. You know, like I say, any fan of other teams, you know, come over, man, it's always great to see that, right? And you know, we try to keep it real over here. Like I ain't, y'all know me, man. I love the Saints, but we're gonna keep it real over here. There's a lot of people in this chat right now or watching this right now love the Saints. We keep it real. Like, I'm gonna give credit what credit is due, you know. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, we gonna keep it 10 toes down too. That we gonna rock for that black and gold as well. TJ, we were wearing black helmets and gold jerseys. What's your opinion on the uniform choice? I don't like the black pants. I don't like the black pants with the gold jersey. It just look weird to me. I just wish that they can like rock that, you know, because it seems like the jersey matches the gold pants. And I'm just wondering, like, are they going to wear those pants? Because if you look at practice, I mean, Spencer Rattler, he had on like those gold pants. And I'm just wondering, like, are they going to wear the gold jersey with the gold pants with the black helmet? Like, to me, that look pretty clean. And it'd be pretty unique. You know, the fact that I've never seen that combination before. They will always wear the gold jerseys with the you know, with the black pants. So I'm just wondering, like, are they going to just go all khaki on khaki or gold on gold? I'm just wondering. But I don't care what they got on. I don't care if they got on a black helmet, white helmet, gold helmet, lime helmet. I don't care what they wear. Like, just do some winning in any helmet that you wear, and I'm okay with that. Texas fans better hope Arch get things turned around before conference play starts. Well, you know, that was just a tough outing. I just think whoever made the schedule, that was just a dumb move on their part. Yes, I just said that. Look, if you have a young, inexperienced quarterback, I don't care what his last name is. I don't care who he's affiliated with. I don't care who his uncles are. It don't matter. I just think that you needed to get him, you know, some reps and maybe a team that was, you know, middle of the competition. Like, kind of similar to what Michigan did with Underwood. Like, Underwood, the true freshman quarterback, of course, LSU fans know about him. He was supposed to go to LSU, but that's another story for another day. But they gave him an opportunity to go out there and showcase his skills and get him comfortable, you know, against a team like New Mexico. Okay, man, let's go out here, beat the brakes off these guys. You run around, look good, get the fan base all excited. And now we're going up against Oklahoma, and it's going to be a more stiffer competition. And let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what we can actually do, right? And you know, that I feel like that's what they needed to do for Arch Manning. The fact that his first game as the official start at the University of Texas was at the shoe against Ohio State, the reigning national champions. I mean, I just feel like that was just a recipe for disaster. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you this right now. My reservations about Arch Manning, if he would have went into that game on in his first true start as the true starter. I mean, he started in other games, but that was middle below competition. If he would have went to Ohio State and went out there and threw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, I would have been talking about tanking, you know what I'm saying, too. You know what I'm saying? I would have got on board for that. Okay, man, let's get this dude up in here. Because if you're going to do that against Ohio State, there's not too many other teams in college football that are going to be as formidable or as good as Ohio State. So if he would have did that, then I would have been like, yeah, I see what y'all talking about. But it does not surprise me that a guy who is now in his first official start as the starting quarterback of the University of Texas, he's going up against the reigning national champions. They set him up to fail. Whoever made that schedule didn't do him any justice. And I'm pretty sure the guy was a little bit uptight. I'm sure he was nervous. Shoot, I would be too. I don't care. I don't care how many stars I am. I don't care if I'm a 4-star, 5-star. Don't care what it is. Like, that is hostile territory. And you have to go out there and show everybody that you him in that type of environment. I mean, if it was like week 2 or week 3 or something like that, I mean, I can understand it better. He would have got his footing. But just wasn't a good move. I just hope we smoke the Cardinals. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna smoke the Cardinals. I mean, I don't know if you pay attention or anybody pays attention to the Cardinals. I mean, they're a pretty formidable team. They got a really good defense. They're not one of those teams where they just got that one guy that just rushes the passer. They have a sack by committee type team. They got talent on the offensive side of the football. They can run the ball with guys like James Conner. Of course, they got Marvin Harrison Jr. out there. You got Mike Wilson. I mean, you got Trey McBride, probably a top 5 tight end in the league. So they got talent, and it's going to be a tough outing for the Saints. And you have the Kyler Murray. He has the ability to be able to scramble. Hopefully, the Saints have resolved those quarterback scrambling issues. Even though we seen Trey Lance go out there and just scramble all over, but that was second and third string guys. So hopefully, this new defense in the 3-4 be able to track down mobile quarterbacks. If so, maybe the Saints can do enough to win. But if your player of the game is Blake Groupie, you're not going to win a football game. They got to be able to punch in those touchdowns. They got to be able to be effective in the red zone. I'm not saying you got to come away with points, touchdowns every time you're in the red zone, but you damn sure got to make sure that if you're down there, you're scoring more times than not. All game day gold in week 1 against Arizona. I hope we're going to win a home opener for real, for real. I need our team to win 9 or 8 wins. What's your thoughts, TJ? Well, look, would love to see the New Orleans Saints with 9, 10 wins, but man, it just might be an uphill battle. But I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm not trying to be a homer here. You just never know. That every single year they always talk about how teams are going to be bad and they're going to fall flat on their face, and then that team might end up, making a playoffs or like being in it to the very end. Might end up like getting eliminated in the final game of the season in a do or die situation. Like, we see this stuff all the time. That's why I don't want to just quit and just give up and be like, oh man, this season is going to be going to hell. Like, you do not know. Like, the teams that you think going to be something, things happen. Right. And the teams that you think are going to suck might end up being better than you think. So I don't know what their record is going to be honest with you. But I know you got to be able to, if you're going to win some games, you got to be able to have a quarterback that's going to be able to win some games for you. You're going to be able to facilitate the ball. And we're going to see, man. We're going to see. 24-10 Saints, 1-0. Who that? Let's see. I wouldn't the reach for Lenore Sellers. I wouldn't reach either. I wouldn't reach for him if he's available. I mean, I say why not? But nah, I'm not reaching for anybody. I'm not reaching for anybody. Like, if you first off, if a quarterback like Arch Manning comes out and let's say you picking second, you're not getting that first pick. You're not. So you might as well just try to go with somebody else like, Drew Aller, and Lenore Sellers probably be there for you, but not reaching for it. But I'm not even speaking that into existence because I'm not going to just give up and quit on these quarterbacks, man. I mean, let's see what they can do in a better situation. Now, we got plenty of time. That's what people like. You don't have to hurry up to get to the club, right? The club ain't closing at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, right? You can kind of just sit around a little bit pregame, make your way to the club a little bit later. Like, everything is going to reveal itself. Like, you don't have to rush to get to this situation. You're going to find out if Spencer Rattler can be a starting quarterback. You're going to find out if Tyler Shuck is going to be a starting quarterback. You're going to get the answers to your questions. So there's no need to go out here and rush. I'm hoping that both of these guys end up looking like something. I'm hoping that Spencer Rattler looks like something so much that we're not even talking about Tyler Shuck for the rest of the season, because that means that Spencer Rattler is out here balling. So let's see what these guys can do, man. Let's see what they can do. Let's see what Spencer Rattler can do. And if it doesn't work out, then let's see what Tyler Shuck can do. But I'm not thinking about Tyler Shough right now because I want to see Spencer Rattler do well. Because if he's doing well, that means the team is doing well. As far as Arch, come on, man. Peyton and Eli did not look like themselves. It takes time. Yeah, man, look, it takes time. I just think that people just was just quick to anoint the guy. And that's just the world that we live in, man. Like, man, the world is just so saturated with like information and moments. Everybody's talking about like, oh man, this is the next big thing until the next thing comes. Like everybody's trying to find that next big thing, and nobody just has the patience. It might be great, but it might not be great now. But the fact that people want things to be great right then and there, they want everything to happen like that, like it kind of ruins it. And the thing that could possibly be great, the impatience of society causes it not to be great. Because, oh man, I thought he was going to be it. I thought she was going to be it. Like that, there's no such thing anymore as the process. The process of doing stuff. It's rather you got it or you don't. That's how people look at it. If you don't come in giving instant results, you might have the capabilities of giving results, but right now you might need some fine tuning. People don't allow you to fine tune. They want a finished product. They want it right then and there. And, you know, like I said, it just, in the process of you trying to want it and being frustrated that the person doesn't have it, you kill his confidence, and it kills the inability for that thing that you think is going to be great to be great, if that makes any sense. Long story short, man, allow people to be great and be patient. TJ, do you think Denver will pick up JT Gray? I don't see why not. I mean, look, I don't expect for him to be on the street long. I expect to wake up in the morning and JT Gray on somebody's football team. Dude is a great player, man. Like on the special teams, he's a great player. So I expect to wake up in the morning and see JT Gray sign to somebody. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's the Broncos, especially his relationship with Sean Payton. 4 new starters on the Cardinals D-line. Yep. 4 new faces, man. But like I said, man, they have that sack by committee. So they can get after the quarterback now. Non-conference opponents are made 5 years in advance. Well, if that was 5 years in advance, they should have been like, I don't know about that. But hey, if it is in advance, don't they have but they can still manipulate the schedule, if I'm not mistaken, right? Of when they play. Like, it's not like, oh, week 1. Yeah, I assume. I don't know if it's just like based on availability, based on both universities or whatever, and them agreeing to play. But it just wasn't a bad. Like, to me, I've seen these universities change around like schedules and stuff like that. Nah, we gonna play them down the line or what? I've seen this before, so I know that's possible. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't a good. It just was not good for Arch Manning to start his career off in that type of situation. This man on the 3rd and 21 almost got 21 yards. But hey, let's see. Nobody paying attention to the Saints. Well, the Who That Nation is. Nobody may not be paying attention to them, but Saints fans are. And that's okay. Sometimes you need to fly under the radar, in order for them to be able to figure out how to get themselves out of this hole. Jerry, that was funny. A lot of the top 10 teams look mid. I mean, Bama looked mid. Bama looked like the early 2000 Bama teams, right? I mean, when they had what's dude name was John David Booty or whatever, like they look about as mid as a C plus. Bama fans are already calling for the board to be. Oh yeah, oh man, what he was like. What he like lost 4 out of his 3 out of his last 4 or something like that, like 1-3. For what 500? Like in his last. No, that ain't cutting it. That is not cutting it in Tuscaloosa. I can tell you that right now. Football is everything in Tuscaloosa, man, and they ain't got no time for that. But I also feel like now it's like now that the whole NIL thing is going on, it's just tough for these SEC teams to be able to flex their muscle, because now these universities at Big Ten, I mean, they got bankroll just like them SEC teams. And we all know, some of the things that were allegedly happening at some of these SEC schools in order for them to get some of this talent that they have. But now everybody could go out here and write a check. That's our SMU. Like, I don't know if you know the story. SMU, back in the 80s, man, they was paying players and all that kind of stuff, man. Like, they have a really strong alumni association over there. All right. It was to a point where the governor of the entire state was involved. So, yeah, I expect for SMU to, like, in the next 4 to 5 years, probably be in a national championship conversation. It was in a college football playoff last year. So it's just, man, flag. I thought it was a flag, like you were roughing the kicker. But yeah, man, I expect for that to happen. I expect for these teams that probably you never heard of, but they have a strong alumni association. Cash, like, shucking out that bread. I expect for some of these unheralded teams to rise to the top really soon. Trey, exactly, and Brandon, man, I live in Enterprise near Dorton. These jokers was hot. Pump our brakes. I got faith in Rattler. I'm right here in Tuscaloosa. Yeah, man, Tuscaloosa. Yeah, I've been there quite a few times, man. My shouts out to my uncle. I remember he stayed out there a few years. Shouts out to my wife's best friend and husband. Shouts out to them, man. They graduated from Alabama, man. They huge Tide fans, but yeah, man, they looking average these days. They looking average. And like I said, these other teams, they got that bankroll, man. Man, if Arch would have passed for just one more touchdown, I would have won 800. Home, my Saints come through. Hoping my Saints come through for me on Sunday. I'm buying into Kellen Moore. Yeah, man. Look, that's tough right there, man. That's tough right there. But I mean, that's just like, some people like, man, if I had like a few more numbers right, I would have I would have won $900 million off that Powerball. Do you think Spencer is auditioning for other teams? Is reason he is starting, knowing he may not start next season? No. Now, I believe that's not on the Saints' mind. Like, if Spencer Rattler goes out there and plays well, that's a pleasant surprise for the Saints. And honestly, that's what you want. That's what you want, Saints fans, because if he goes out there and plays well, that opens up a window for the New Orleans Saints to be able to do something, because you got yourself a 5th-round pick quarterback that's not making a bunch of money, and he can go out there, and win some football games for you, and you could build something around him and become a contender. Now, I mean, at this point, it's just wishful thinking, but that's the best case scenario. TJ, that's why the Bama fans flipping a bird or live TV made. Yeah, that dude up there, man, that boy was over it. That boy was over it. I said, Daddy's little boy right there, man. He was upset, man. That trust fund baby was upset. The main thing I'm looking at this Sunday is our run defense. Can they do enough to stop the Cardinals' running game? James Conner is no joke, and he's a solid running back. It's a must. We contain him from the get-go. Yeah, I mean, not only can he run in between the tackles, he can catch the ball out of the backfield too. And they got some talent, man. Don't sleep on the Cardinals, man. Do not sleep on the Cardinals. I'm gonna take a few more, then we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. So Dallas paid DeRon Bland $92 million, but ain't want to pay Parsons. Jerry bogus as hell, man. I wish my Saints could have got him. Well, look, Jerry Jones already said if he was going to trade Michael Parsons, he would want like a stud defensive tackle in exchange. Now, no disrespect to the Saints, but I mean, I believe that Devon Godshaw can be something, but I wouldn't consider him a stud defensive tackle enough for you to be using as trade leverage. So I didn't expect for the New Orleans Saints to get Michael Parsons. But when it comes to Jerry Jones, it's very, very simple to me. His ego is the reason why Michael Parsons is no longer in Dallas. It's a pride thing. Like, if you're going to sit up here and say that y'all had conversations in February and y'all kind of had a handshake deal off the record that he was going to get extended, it shouldn't have mattered, right? If you got love, if you got love for him. But it's a business at the end of the day, man. And to me, it was just Jerry Jones didn't like David Mugoleta, who is Michael Parsons' agent. And he didn't like the fact that, Mugoleta was basically telling them that, okay, man, we're going to wait on this contract. Because I don't know what the money was. I don't know if it, like, I know right now Michael Parsons has $188 million, right? 136 of it guaranteed. I don't know what the contract was. Now, you got to keep in mind, Myles Garrett didn't get paid yet. TJ Watt didn't get paid yet. Those are your two highest paid pass rush. And I've been around the NFL circles for quite some time. And I can tell you right now, these owners talk, these agents talk. And I'm pretty sure that Mugoleta probably heard in circles that Myles Garrett was probably going to get a certain amount of money. And the money that Jerry Jones probably was offering Micah wasn't going to resemble what the Cleveland Browns paid Myles Garrett. So that was him probably being a really good agent. And Jerry just mad that homeboy was player hating on him. And he thought that he wasn't going to have to pay him as much. And he probably would have thought, okay, man, if Myles Garrett get paid, then he can set the market. Right. So at the end of the day, man, I wish Michael Parsons the best. Like, I had an opportunity to meet him before. Good dude. Seemed like a pretty solid guy, man. I think people, give him a hard time because they want him to eat, sleep, and breathe football. But when you're a beast like that, and he's one of those people. It's kind of like Alvin Kamara to me. Like, Alvin Kamara is like, I'm a football player. Like, that's what I do. That's not who I am. Like, Alvin, you see in Paris on fashion shows and taking part in NASCAR and all that kind of stuff. Like, I can respect that. Like, football is, what he does. It's not who he is. And Michael Parsons, he likes to do podcasts. He likes to, big up other teams, and all those different things. So I don't have a problem with that. I think there's a healthy balance that you can have. I mean, when your team is out there, I need you to tap in, but you ain't got to just, be every moment, second of your life got to be involved football, man. Especially like when you do the little things in order to make sure that you maintain the level of greatness that you've been at or exceeded. Imagine if Jerry Jones had been crazy enough to trade Michael to the Eagles. Cowboys fans would have been ready to throw Jerry Jones in the river. So, that wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened. That if that would have happened, then Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones' son, should have got with Jerry Jones' wife and other people and had an intervention. Shoot, they will have to like do something about that because clearly old Jerry done lost his mind. Let's see, TJ, why do the Saints always release talented players and you wonder why they have a losing season? Hopefully the fans don't bring out the paper bags again. Well, look, this is what happens sometimes when you're going through a rebuild. It's not always ideal. It's not always going to be the way that fans want it to be, but I respect it. I respect it. I really do, man. Like, you only get one opportunity at this more, if it doesn't work out, more so than not. Sometimes a team might circle back around and give you a chance, like the Saints did with Dennis Allen, and it ended up being a mistake. But for the most part, teams are going to give you an opportunity for you to be a head coach. If it doesn't pan out, more than likely, you probably, if you're good enough, like Kellen Moore, you'll probably end up being offensive coordinator for life or something. But you only get one opportunity to make a really good first impression. So him trying to, build the team the way that he wants to build it, I have no problem with that. And if it doesn't like give you instant results, I'm okay with that too. As long as you're seeing remnants of success, like you can see change coming. Like you can see it. Maybe you're like, okay, man, it didn't happen this year, but I see what he's doing, trending in the right direction, etc., etc. But you only get one shot at it. So if he feels like he wants to build a team in his image, his way, I don't have a problem with that. I don't. I don't have a problem with it. Like we can't get upset about a rebuild and get mad at how the rebuild process is. You say you want to rebuild. Sometimes tough decisions are made in rebuilds. Raphael says, "Hey TJ, I enjoy your shows." Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here too. I appreciate that. TJ, who do you think takes our captain of special teams? And did you see that call on LSU that reversed that touchdown 24-10? Yeah, that was terrible. But that was a really good throw by Garrett Nussmeier. That was probably one of his best throws of the night. Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. But hey, but at the end of the day, who I think is going to be the special teams captain, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I could tell you who would be the special team captain. Blake Grupe, the way he kicking, he can be captain. I guess. But no, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, JT Gray definitely is the special teams ace. I mean, you got a couple guys out there right now, but a lot of those players are young. Man, my goodness, man, this dude is toting that rock. I hate to cut it off, but it seems like they getting chunk plays. I'm watching the TC. For those that just tuned in, I'm watching the TCU North Carolina game, and I mean they are just running through North Carolina's defense like Swiss cheese, man, unbelievable. But I don't know who's gonna be the special teams coach. How long you think Roman going to be out, TJ? Probably to the next big main pay-per-view, probably Survivor Series or something. That whole injury angle is just to write him off TV. He only like take part in some of the bigger shows. Let's see. Represent for the Vikings in honor of Bunch Tater is better for your psyche. I'm not even sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure it means something to you. Thanks. I appreciate it. I don't know how to answer that, man. But thank you for being here, Nick. Let's see. We have podcasters saying that Kellen Moore failed at drafting because he picked could not beat out Rattler. Well, look, I don't think that's an indicator of what Tyler Shuck and who Tyler Shuck is. I think it had everything to do with the fact that maybe some people underestimated, Spencer Rattler and his ability to be a competitor and compete for the starting position. I just thought they thought maybe it's just a foregone conclusion. And this guy had something to say. And I don't have an issue with that at all. I don't have a problem with that. And I don't think that Tyler Shuck career is over because he lost the quarterback battle to Spencer Rattler. I don't. I just don't understand that, man. I get it. Everybody like, man, he pro ready. He probably is pro ready. But anybody ever thought that maybe Spencer Rattler has improved and maybe you're probably going to see that this season? I mean, I could be wrong, but come on, man. Like, we got to give people a chance, man. We'd be so quick to try to just throw people away because they don't give us what we want right then and there, man. TJ, who you got? Bud Crawford, Canelo, man. I'm always gonna root for Terrence Bud Crawford. This guy, one of my favorite fighters. I mean, I've been rocking with Terrence Crawford since he fought Gamboa. That was probably one of his biggest premier fights at the time, man. So I mean, I've been watching Terrence Crawford since then and really been tapped into his career. So I'm always gonna root for him. I think that he's extremely underrated as a fighter. I think a lot of people just think that he'd be fighting tomato cans, but it had a lot to do with the fact that nobody really wanted to fight him. He was over on the top rank side, and a lot of the fighters that were, credible and had names like Errol Spence, they were over there on Premier. I mean, in order for him to fight Spence, man, they basically had to move some things around between Top Rank and Premier. Al Heyman, I'm saying, they really don't like working, working with the other side. They just don't. Like these promoters want to work with who they want to work with. And they basically kill boxing. So I just think that his career kind of, was kind of shaped because of that. A lot of people just feel like this guy can't fight. But, They're gonna see. They're gonna see. I'm not trying to knock Canelo or nothing like that, but at the end of the day, I'm telling you, man, that guy's a special fighter. Not too many fighters like him. Shout out to the after show boys and after show girls. Yeah, shouts out to all the after show boys and after show girls.
Shots out, shots out, shots out, shots out, shots out. To them after show boys. Shots out, shots out, shots out, shots out, shots out. To them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys.
Shouts out to all the after show boys and after show girls out there, man. Some Saints fans who wanted a rebuild now getting nervous about it. I don't understand why. I mean, look, the expectations are low. That's where you're at. I'm not gonna just poo-poo on everything that they were doing, which I feel like that's kind of like the vibe. A lot of people, have some negative takes about the team and stuff like that. Like these guys are just god awful and they ain't got no talent on the team, but they got talent, man. They got talent on his team and on any given Sunday. People underestimate Bud's skill level. He's levels above Canelo. I'm not going to go that far, Randy. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Canelo can't fight or Canelo isn't a top fighter. He is. He's tough. He ain't afraid to fight nobody. I'll give him that. But I just think that the styles is probably going to favor more of Terrence Crawford because here's the thing. Terrence Crawford is more of a strategic fighter and Canelo is more of a come forward like fighter. Like he's the guy that want to like bang out with you. You know what I'm saying? Like just like sit in the pocket and just start exchanging blows. Like don't run from me. I won't run from you. But the thing about it is because Canelo is so aggressive, it kind of plays into the hands of Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is able to kind of like pick him apart a little bit. Now like Terrence has to be careful not to allow Canelo to get on the inside because those body shots and stuff like that. I mean, the man got sledgehammer for fist. Now I do think like over the course of time he kind of lost his power a little bit, but at the end of the day, I still think that it is like his power is still there, is effective, and it could be a little bit of an issue for a guy that's coming up 2 weight classes like Terrence Crawford. So, do you play on Madden 26 on Xbox Series X, TJ? Let's see. I need to get with PS5. Yeah, I got Madden 26, but man, I haven't really had a chance to really play video games as of late. I mean, every now and then, like I have some downtime, which I rarely do. I probably play some video games for a little while, but yeah, but I have it on Xbox Series X. Shazam facts that Spence Bud fight was hard for some people to watch. Yeah, man. I mean, first off, go back and watch the fight. We towards the end of the show, folks, so y'all already know how it go. First off, homeboy was high. What is it about as high as the heavens going into that fight? Go back and watch Errol Spence go into that fight. That boy eye was low. Homeboy looked like he was blazing right before he got off in that thing. Also, you have a detached retina. You get ejected from your car going at that like 100-mile-per-hour speeds, losing your teeth, losing all type of different body parts, and man, you just screwed up. I think it probably would have been a better fight if Errol Spence, wasn't in the shape that he was in. But homeboy was high as a kite going into that fight. But at the end of the day, I don't think that it would have had any, even if he was sober, he would have lost that fight. Like Terrence Crawford was way too fast for him. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it was the accident or not. It just seemed like Errol Spence was slow. Seemed like, he wanted to do something, but it seemed like his body didn't want to cooperate with him. It was just a bad night for him. Like Terrence Crawford would have won that fight regardless, accident or not, because I think that he's that talented. But homeboy high. Go back and watch. Go back and watch that fight when they have a moment where they show the walk in. Watch how low that boy eyes is. That boy was high. That boy was high, man. You ain't about to tell me otherwise. In order to have successful at the quarterback is to be able to extend the plays. That's all Rattler has to do. Yeah, you got to extend the plays, hand the ball off to the running backs, get the ball into the hands of the playmakers. Those mesh concepts will probably benefit these wide receivers where they can be able to catch the ball in space. So, you're probably gonna see a lot of 11 personnel from the Saints. I expect to see 3 wide receivers on the field. You'll probably see Cooks, Lave, Shaheed, or Lave, Shaheed, and Vile. You'll probably see something like that on the field. But yeah. And I must say, man, there was a question that was asked to Kellen Moore about Juwan Johnson, and it didn't seem like he was extremely confident about Juwan Johnson's blocking skills. It seemed like that's going to be an issue. You keep a close eye on it. Keep a close eye on that, man. Spence looked like a beat up Martin Lawrence. Yeah, that was a rough night for your boy, man. Here in Texas, they had Arrow to hype up. They thought he was the next. Now, I'm gonna say this, Camp. I'm gonna say this, man. There was a moment where it could have been that way. Yeah, I feel that way. The styles are completely different. I feel like he was more Marvin Hagler than Floyd Mayweather, because he's not that sophisticated. He's more like, he just had a lot of power. He was really good at throwing those body shots, and he was pretty fundamentally sound. But I think that they had a lot of hype behind him. I can remember when they wanted him to fight Keith Thurman at the time, and Keith Thurman, this was during the time when Keith Thurman was in his prime, right? And he didn't want to fight, and Keith Thurman didn't want to fight him and stuff. He was saying, he need to build up his resume, which I agree, man. But Dallas made him feel like a star. They had him hanging out with Jerry Jones, and his fights were in AT&T Stadium, and I get it, but it was just one of them situations where they were trying to hype a guy up. He was good, and he was much better than he was after his accident, but Floyd Mayweather, he was not. Old buddy looked like Jeff Hardy when he fought Sting, TJ. That's how messed up. Yeah, he was pretty messed up, man. He was high. I like what you said at the round table when you got on Berto about Mr. Durag. Oh, yeah, man. I said, we're talking about what has Michael Penix done? Right now, that's all he has done. Lavender durag, white durag, black durag. That's about it. What, he's 1-2 as a starting quarterback, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And I find it funny, man. I can't believe this, man. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow, man. Check out the NFC South Roundtable. I called this a couple weeks ago on the podcast with 3 other guests. Not surprised he got cut because all he was good at was special teams. Plus, he's been getting nicked up over the past couple of seasons. Well, look, that is a fair assessment. And yeah, man, the best ability is the availability. But you have guys who are special teams aces, and that's how they make the team. So I don't think that's a reason. I think that maybe they want to get younger and try to take advantage of this grace period that they have, because nobody ain't trying to see this in 2026. I can tell you that right now. I'm proud of Spence and hope he continues to make the doubters change. Yeah, me too, man. I love what you're doing on the State of the NFL podcast, TJ. Keep striving, my brother. I appreciate it, man. I take a lot of pride in the channel that we're building over there, man. Putting out a lot of different episodes, being able to talk about the NFL. We're gonna have a watch along on Thursdays, Cowboys versus Eagles. So if you're not doing anything on Thursday, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be watching that game because everybody's hungry for some football. Make sure you come on over. We're going to have a watch along Eagles versus Dallas Cowboys week 1 game on Thursday night. So make sure y'all check it out live on the State of the NFL. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. State of the NFL. All right, but we're going to go ahead and end it, man. My final thoughts are simple. I've been saying this since the beginning of the show. I don't have an issue with Kellen Moore trying to build the team the way that he wants to. It's a tough blow to see JT Gray go. But, it was a tough blow to see Chris Banjo go back in the day, right? It just the way that it goes. I mean, guys move on. Teams make decisions that feel like benefits the team. And look, JT Gray, don't feel bad for this guy because, I mean, he's going to get picked up in the next 24 hours. I would be shocked, like absolutely shocked if JT Gray isn't like signed to a team by at least tomorrow afternoon. I would be shocked. Like he is that type of talent. People are always looking for like talent on the special teams side of football. And also it might be a great opportunity for JT, man, because why would you want to see JT just being in a special teams role? Maybe there's a team out there that'll give him a chance where he can play safety. I want to see it. I don't want to see guys just stay in the same position. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's comfortable to him. He got paid a couple times. And, that's great, for him and his family. But, he also want to be able to finish his career on his own terms. And a team is going to end up, signing, more likely the Denver Broncos. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Much love to you. Make sure that you check out the State of the NFL podcast. I did 2 bold predictions for the 2025 season. That is available right now. So make sure that you check it out. YouTube.com, search State of the NFL. And also check out the NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday at 8 p.m. I'm supposed to, before I go on the NFC South Roundtable, supposed to be on a Philadelphia Eagles podcast tomorrow as well. I got to figure out a time. And when I do, I'll make sure I let y'all know. My guy, Mike Fuji, my guy, man. I've been on the show a couple times. I jokingly tell him, I say, every time I come on Broad Street, it just seems like the Eagles always find their way to the Super Bowl. So I was like, yeah, I said the last 2 times I've been on there, I said the Eagles have been to the Super Bowl. But yeah, man, I'll make sure I keep y'all posted on that. And also, once again, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. You can follow me on X at TJAY Jones 8. Till next time, all I gotta say is, who dat?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who dat?